Welcome to the Heavyweight Podcast.
The message behind saying the title "The Heavyweight Podcast" is to be able to say that we can weigh in on some heavy shit. You know, what we're talking about is important from every aspect of it. It's a heavy weight. It's not just about physical weight, but the weight of things that can weigh our minds. So I think it's dope that we can have this conversation. Good. This is episode 116 of the Heavyweight Podcast. I am Stutter McFly with these three guys. Go ahead and state your name for the beautiful people out. Yeah.
In honor of Indigenous People Day, I'm gonna be stacking your cheese up.
Stack your cheese. I like it.
That's my moniker.
Stacking your cheese up. It's your boy Mo Lethal Grouch.
Hey, and they call me Hunter.
That was good.
How are your weeks?
Stacking your cheese up a week?
I went to court. Shit.
You went to court.
I forgot about that, yeah.
Were you stacking your cheese in court?
Yeah, actually I was. It was all overtime.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So you went to court on the job?
Yeah, I got in an accident last year, and the homie was drunk, and somehow he's fighting it. So they called me in as a witness. I was scared because I showed up, and he was like, "Oh, you got to talk to the DA," and I was like, "Excuse me." It was one of those where homie was in the court, and they're like, "Is he in the courtroom?" I'm like, he's right there." I didn't know he was gonna be in here like that.
Did your hair start turning a rainbow color?
Snitching motherfucker.
I don't think that's snitching. Hell no. I'm telling. I'm just telling. That's all that was. He was mad.
I mean, he hit you, right?
Yeah, he hit me and then ran off.
I'm not guilty.
You snitching motherfucker.
No.
Kind of makes me wonder how many DUIs he's had.
A lot. He probably, if he get in jail time, a lot.
Between you two, huh?
Yeah.
Hunter had the guy that hit the side of the trailer and ran away, running from the cops and shit.
Hey, don't do no crime on us. You're going to jail.
Yo. That's crazy. My week was it was a rather long pause.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
Back from the land of enchantment. I don't know what they're enchanted by.
Hell yeah, that white sand.
Did you see some of the indigenous people out there?
If you're talking about hillbilly white folks and country, yes.
I was talking about Kevin Spirits, the spirit guy.
No, I didn't see any of those. I didn't see
peyote? You was doing peyote?
No, I didn't do that at all. I will say that the weather out there is bipolar as shit. Like we got there, it was like 90 degrees and around dusk, nigga, it was raining and lightning. In 60, I was like, what the fuck is going on here? I said, this must be tornado weather. I said, let me get my black ass back to California. This shit is going crazy out here.
Oh.
So, I mean, I saw my family, my nieces and nephews, and my sisters, and it was a good time. That's it, just...
That's what's up.
I enjoyed myself, so...
That's
so...
That's what you need. Get a little break.
Yeah, so... Overall, it was a good week. We made it back in time for Phoenix to hit gymnastics because she was adamant that she was only going to miss one day of gymnastics. So at some point,
discipline.
I guess at some point she's in charge.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was it. We also real quick, we took her to the pumpkin patch yesterday, and the motherfucking power went out, so all the inflatables went down.
Did you get a refund?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. You get some money back? They just said...
They gave me a look, so I'm assuming that's a yes.
Damn well. We didn't get no damn refund.
Yeah,
no refund.
Read the back of your ticket.
It was only $1 to get in the motherfucker.
You know what? That's what I was about to say. I was like, when did pumpkin patches start charging?
It was only $1 to get in the motherfucker.
And the one by my house?
And by that time, she only had about 6-7 tickets left, so...
Yeah.
Or then they get you on the back end with the damn tickets to do any of the
the rides, yeah.
Yeah,
we spent about $50. I said I'm not, because it was a little small one. She was just there with her friends, so I was like, I'm not finna buy a bunch of tickets because I'm taking a live vote. So
yeah, that's the one that costs.
Well, I take her to live vote every year, man. That's just what we do now. It's a tradition now. So
Yeah,
I used to go there.
I'm going to Green Spot now.
Where they charge. Yeah.
Because last time we went, that was like $3.
The trick is you got to go on like a weeknight, like on a Thursday night or something. That's the trick. Because it's cheaper to get in. The ride's gonna cost what they're gonna cost, but it's cheaper to get in. The kids will get in free.
I just thought it was crazy. I remember our first one, it was like real simplistic, and then by the last time we went, you had to get fucking go park down the street, and a bus came and I was like, yeah, this is.
It's damn like a county fair now. The way that shit be in there,
right? That's why it trips me out about it, because
it's big.
When I see them driving by, I'm like, when the fuck did pumpkin patches become such a big thing?
When Instagram pictures start looking nice.
When you want some pumpkin spice latte.
So your week, Hunter?
My week was fuck it week. That's
those
it.
Aren't.
What
those
here goes the violence. Like fuck it with violence.
Those aren't the proper socks.
That was last week.
You were at work when you weren't. We know you were at work, you liar.
That too. I forgot about that too.
6 hours, nigga.
UPS actually said I was at work when I wasn't at work, so that was an interesting one. But no, the last 2 weeks of work, I've only worked 2 days in the last 2 weeks.
That'd be nice.
I'm in that fuck it attitude right now with it, but that's all got to change Monday because pocket's starting to feel a little light. So.
Just go to Kevin's house.
Don't say that in the,
On a what?
They'll be like, oh, you guys make $170,000. Your pockets can't be that.
When you haven't worked a full week since August.
They said your pocket's light ain't like my pocket's light.
No, I've been on one for the last almost 2.5 months. So
last 48 years.
But yeah, I guess I'm just in a weird spot. Everything has kind of been, I don't know. I just don't feel like doing anything. So
sounds like depression. You need to talk to somebody.
Yeah, you can come over here and pull some weeds with me.
First off, I got my own weeds.
So is Jimmy Butler's hairstyle your spirit animal?
Hell yeah.
The 9 will be the 9.
You gotta go see the picture, Hunter.
Yeah, because I have no idea who that is.
Jimmy Butler on their media day, he came dressed as an emo person.
Was it true that he had outfit changes?
Yes.
Yeah. Of course. Why wouldn't you?
He was trolling his ass off.
That gonna make me have to go on the internet and find out who Jimmy Butler is.
He was trolling his ass off. If you Google it right now, I guarantee that picture pops up.
Yeah.
Yo, those memes heavy in tears.
Oh, is that the one who did the fucking the emo hairstyle?
Yeah.
I did see that.
And all the lip piercings and stuff.
Was that a joke?
Yeah, he was trolling.
Oh, okay.
That's his hair, but
I wish he would play like that.
You're running out of bounds. What the fuck happened? My hair got in the way, goddammit. Like,
he just dunked on the nigga like
I know we call it emo, but weren't we rocking our hairstyle somewhere in the 40s, 50s?
My hair was never that long, so no, I never.
I did go to school with.
First off, you weren't in the 40s and 50s. So.
Shouts out to Crazy Bone. I was trying to get my hair like Crazy Bone in 7th grade for a while.
I know grown ass niggas that walk around right now with their hair like Crazy Bone. Well, you ain't the only one. McFly, your week, sir?
Just work. Trying to get back assimilated to this place.
See me doing.
So I stay off the radar, and
you ain't off the radar with that brand new tractor you was whipping.
Which one?
That 2559, whatever, 9 something like that.
Yeah. That was only because somebody hooked it up for me that day because they took the tractor I was in originally away because it was supposed to go back to Palm Springs. That's why I was like this. So I guess it was supposed to go to the mechanic and then go back. So the mechanic just rolled up on me. I said, "What the hell?" I clenched my fist and everything, and then he was like, "We need that tractor back." I said, "Okay." He said, "They said they're gonna give you another one." I said, "Oh, okay." All right. And then he literally followed me and made sure I went to the mechanic. Like he made sure I went to the mechanic's way. Like I couldn't just I said, this nigga's following me? Like, then when I parked it, he's already sitting at the door waiting, and he's just like waiting for me to get my shit. I'm like, well, goddamn. Like, so I handed him the keys, and he was like, well, you know, if you come tomorrow, I'll get you like a Mac, a brand new Mac. I said, whatever, bro. I'm just using the tractor, bro. Like, then I went in the office. They were like, he's like, oh, I got these keys right here. You know, these are, you know, brand new. I said, shit, I'll take them.
What's up?
Mechanic a brother?
No.
We actually don't have any black mechanics, huh?
Only there's one.
Think about it.
There's 1 and 2 in Ontario. That's
Message, UPS, no black mechanics. Shit. No, but yeah, no. And then what's weird is when you drive a tractor, like one of the brand new tractors for the first time, you get why you want them kind of
broken in
a little bit, because you're like, oh shit, this shit was like stacked. Like I was like, oh shit, okay, yeah, somebody got to break this in before I'm cool to drive it, because it was stuttering because it was trying to gauge the distance. Like instead of having that annoying ass following distance blink, it would just severely stop when it thought you were too close. So it would like damn near try to slam on the brakes. I said, I'm not used to this shit.
my bad.
Who was?
I'm no scared. The AI.
But anyway, back to the shenanigans and festivities. Topic number 1. What's more important, strong work ethic or strong connections and relationships?
Work ethic. I'm gonna say work ethic because your strong work ethic will make connections.
Seen it. I was thinking about that because I was like, I see that and I feel that way, but then I've seen some motherfuckers with terrible work ethic and just keep making it because you're like,
well, that's because they were born with pre-connections. I'm talking about if you ain't got no connections at all, you still got to go out there and make the connections, so you're gonna have to make that through effort.
Yeah, but that's the difference. Because
even then you gotta look at like all the people that make it, that just make it, and as opposed to a person with a strong work ethic might necessarily make it to that height. So like you can bust your ass and you'll like get to a certain level of success, but you'll never get past that. And no matter how hard you work, and that's the fucked up reality a lot of times.
Yeah, you gotta get into the club, if you will.
And then there's people that never try a day in their life. They're like super successful out of the gate, and they only have to try to be successful just because of who they know.
That's hate.
Yeah.
Call it what you want. You can call it hate. That's that trash ass music with the.
Hey, she did some work somewhere.
Yeah,
she made some connections somewhere.
She sucked some penis and bent over back for somebody. So.
Hey, listen, my man, that's a connection.
That trash ass music.
Yeah, I mean, ideally you would want both, but yeah, I don't know. Because I think the hard part to that, because you could have the connections and you have a shitty work ethic, you could lose that. You could lose the spot you're in. Yeah. So
that's what I'm saying. You got to have some sort of work ethic to maintain the connections, because you can't just be out there fucking everybody over.
But again, I guess you don't have to be that strong as long as you.
What up, Diddy?
Oh, I was he tuned in.
I guarantee you, Diddy got some people he ain't fucked over. He don't know who they are.
Diddy fucking people over.
Yeah, the people under him, not the people above him. That's the difference.
I don't know. I think he might have fucked over somebody above him in his position he's in now.
Not possible.
Because now it seems like he's always in some sort of hot water now.
Yeah.
Take that.
What up, Keefy D?
That's stupid.
I have no idea.
He claimed the motherfucker that's supposedly is involved in the Tupac.
Yeah,
he claimed he's about to sing on Diddy. About to make it rain on Diddy.
When I saw that, I was like, I now know you're talking about. When I saw that, I said, is this for clout? Really? 20 years later, 20-something.
That's not. But that's the dumbest clout in the world. You gonna get yourself locked up?
Well, true for reality. That's how a lot of people end up getting caught, because they end up getting comfortable, forget about it. You know, then they start talking to somebody, and then somebody go and snitch on their ass.
He didn't. Nobody snitched. He snitched on himself.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying.
Wow, he been sitting there doing black.
Mm-hmm. You know, we know most people get caught from running their fucking mouths.
Like, I got immunity. You're like, nah.
It's murder, bro. It's murder. There ain't no statute of limitations on that shit.
They've been bragging about this shit for years.
He should have just shut his mouth up, you know? But, man, whatever then, shit.
You should have said something on his deathbed.
That would have been cool.
I don't know how cool that would have been.
He fucked up on his deathbed. He says that, and then he's like, well, I'm going to die now. And it's like, actually, we got this interesting shot that makes sure you live alone.
You're going to live at least another 20 years.
We were waiting for shit like this. You know, we had to do something with all these people confessing all these crimes on their deathbed. So take this shot. Go live life, nigga. In prison.
You know, I didn't even think about that. What is something that you would confess on your deathbed?
I have nothing to confess.
What do you mean, like secrets you got?
Yeah, not like dirt or anything like that. It's just
we know you got a lot of secrets. I can tell from your past life. So you got a lot. Your memoir going to be fire.
Well, the only one I could think of right now is I wasn't really shampooing my hair in there.
But that's well known.
I was getting it in.
We as dads, and you will find this out. You will see that too. So get ready for it.
Yeah, it's like I was shampooing my hair.
I won't see this. I don't have
no, you won't because you got a girl. But you know, and again, it's only for the motherfuckers who got boys. Shit, you know,
2 of them.
So there's going to be those 45-minute showers, you know, and then the hair come out still wet, still dry.
The thing is, especially with Andreas, he has a good amount of hair, so I'm gonna have to be like on the fence because I'm like, maybe this time he was shampooing his hair because he's got a good grade of hair, you know. But then I'm looking at him like, I don't know, nigga, you look too happy about this shampoo.
45-minute shower.
I think he was beating it a little bit, like I don't know.
That's the truth. You know, I used to call my boy all the time for that shit.
I don't know. I just feel like it's going to be a very short lived because they're going to be staring at. I can already tell. Andreas is going to cause some issues.
Now the other question is, who's still rubbing one out in the bathroom now as a grown man?
I got a whole house, nigga. Why not rubbing one out? Nigga?
I still go in the bathroom. I don't go in there like just. But it happens.
Mm-hmm.
You know, jack off.
Especially when you got
kids. I don't know how the hell we got here from.
Anyway, so having connections,
I think
it might actually has more
weight. Work ethic is valuable. It's good. I've seen people with strong work ethic that they just use and abuse though. Like where you're like, damn, they're just taking advantage of shit.
But that's the thing about having strong work ethic. You got to know when to apply it. You got to know when someone's using you.
Yeah, because that shit be going. I'm like, damn, you guys, all right. And he said yes.
you got to know when someone's using you. You got to know when to you got to know basically know when to slow down. Like, this ain't for me. Yeah. But I feel you with the connections part because connections will get you in the door, but you got to have that work ethic to maintain it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, you don't want to go around burning bridges because then you're burning connections. Like, not too many people. They're not going to keep vouching for you. If every time they vouch for you, you go in there and you fuck shit up.
And all I'm thinking about is a lot of that depends on how much money you have in the world.
Or how many?
Of course.
Or whose connection? How strong is the connection from who?
Mm-hmm.
I've seen some motherfuckers be bad, and they're like, "Oh, we're just gonna move him offices." I'm like, "That's a bad idea too." He should be fired.
Oh, we've seen that plenty of times in that company.
We're just
where you be like, shouldn't he be fired? Nah, they're just gonna relocate him. We're just gonna demote him.
Yeah,
pay him the same though.
Same pay.
And you're like, weren't you just the head of? Okay, like.
Yeah, so you see a nigga with a broom making fucking $95,000 just
because they're like, man, we just trying to keep your ass out of trouble.
Yeah,
you still get paid the same though.
To your point, that does happen.
I know. Like, Hey, my man.
There's one dude in particular. I every time I see him, I'm like, this motherfucker was the head of the feeder operations and was running shit into the ground, and you thought for sure they would have fired him, and somehow he's still just there. And he literally, anytime he sees a driver, he puts his head down and keeps moving. You like, yeah, see, you know you fucked up.
He had a connection that saved his job. That's what that was.
But you know he fucked up.
And we knew who his connection was.
Yeah.
But like I said, to your fact, Kevin, there is I can at least think of 2 porters I know that are making damn near almost $100,000 a year.
What's a porter? Somebody who unloads the truck?
Janitor? No, a janitor.
Janitor.
Oh, I didn't know what that was.
Mm-hmm. Because some odd reason they make drivers pay. So remember, I know Sutter knows. So what's his name from Riverside?
So if you
yeah.
If you get her if you're a driver, Kevin, you get her on the job and you can't drive anymore, but you can still do inside work. You work inside at driver pay. Because
you're trying to break your leg getting out the truck.
It doesn't necessarily have to be for trying, but it just be some shit where you just couldn't help it.
Yeah.
The only downside is you don't get the driver overtime, but you get the driver pay.
Yeah. But it's a cushion.
Then I feel like at certain times of the year, the plus side will be different. No, like during peak time, and they're like, you know what, you can work so X many hours. He's like, I'm gonna just keep working.
Yeah, I'm about to triple shift all month.
You guys can't say shit to me because I ain't got no DOT no more. I'm gonna just keep working. Like,
what's next?
Alrighty, so next topic. Should you hold your friends at a higher standard than others?
A higher standard compared to who?
Others, nigga. The question is very simple.
Well, I don't hold others to a higher standard.
So would you hold your friends to be like you expect them to do more and be better in their life because you want to see them do better?
Well, I mean, you're saying that's not so much of a higher standard.
Yeah, I want to see them do better, but like to me, I don't try to hold expectations. I try to take people where they're at. You know what I mean? Like I would love to see them improve, but I don't want to hold them to an expectation.
So if you had a friend that was smoking crack and you saw them smoking crack actively, you wouldn't try to do a better.
Why you smoking crack? What you smoking?
Or you just going to be like, man, let me go get you some more crack, brother.
Nah, but that's probably not going to be my friend that, like, if I met him smoking crack.
Oh, but if you saw him get to a point where they were smoking crack and you were like, man, I got to be, how would I be as a friend not to try to get them off of smoking crack?
Yeah, but that's not holding somebody to a higher standard. That's getting a nigga off of drugs.
I think that's holding to a higher standard because I think the average person is just going to let them run themselves into a ground, and you might be the person that says, I don't want them to fucking die on a corner. I want them to...
There's people that niggas that try to help people on crack. They're like, hey, stop smoking crack because this will kill you.
You know,
and then fuck you, nigga. You don't know me.
When you said that, I was thinking of the fact of holding your friends to a higher standard, like your friend, like us. You know, like I would hold you at a higher standard for something in our friendship. You know, outside of that, I don't see why I would hold somebody to a higher standard. You know,
you don't?
But no.
I try to get to a taller person, Hunter.
Well, I mean, if you were like, say, if I hold you to a higher standard, like I had expectations that you were actually going to do something in your life, but then again, that is your life. So, you know, so.
Meant for Mo. Sorry.
I would say, I do to a certain degree. I expect if I deem you my friend, I expect you to be at a certain level and to act a certain way, not to be out in the street doing anything that I would believe below your standard. Now, I'm not saying all of my friends have the same standard. I kind of like agree with Kevin. The standard is kind of like where I met you at. I like where I accepted you at type deal. But like I don't want like I would. Because you have to understand, like, your friend group also reflects on your own personality and your own decisions. So who you associate with is in some way a reflection of you.
But what if you got, like, friend groups that you do different shit with? So you're going to hold them, are you saying the standard is...
But what I'm saying, I'm not saying the standard is more about quality of person.
Yeah, like, what's that mean?
Like we all four, we good four, Hunter. All four of us, we're good dudes. You know,
All right.
It's like we're good at the core. We're all good people. Like now, granted, all people have their flaws, but I feel like at the core of all of us, we're good. We're good people. We're good fathers. We're good husbands. We do the best we can in every situation. Now, to be associated with a motherfucker just out there just wild and not giving a fuck about life, I wouldn't associate myself with that.
So, as I said that to you, Kevin, I wasn't. It literally wasn't made up. My dad had a friend that was like the Riverside County something like big deal in Riverside County. And they were very close friends, and then eventually at some point, the last thing I heard about him was he was doing crack and was strung out on life. And now, like at some point, when my dad told me this at the time, I was like, ain't that your friend? Like, did you talk to him? Like, but I do understand at some point there's nothing, sometimes that's just the path they go down. But like, I do feel like at some point as a friend, if you saw somebody go from so high up and end up somewhere else, you're like, you figure like you would want them at a higher standard. That's why I brought that. Like,
but to me, it's like, I don't know if that's necessarily a standard. You would want them to have a better quality of life. You don't want them to go down a path that they're going to die. But I'm like, I'm not holding you to a place to where, like, I feel like if I hold you at a standard, that's me expecting something out of you.
Right.
Like, I would hope that you don't do these things. And if you go that path, more than likely, we're going to separate paths.
Yeah.
Like, because if you choose crack, your whole friend group's changing. Like, that's just what it's going to be.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. I see it as
but
not necessarily a standard, like, to me.
But that's subconsciously holding to a standard. Because if he starts partaking in crack, naturally you guys are going to separate because that's not a lifestyle you live, right?
Yeah, that's just different life.
So that's something that you wouldn't tolerate because that's not in your circle, right? So he gets removed from your circle. That's not saying
parting ways. That's just parting ways.
Hold on, that's not saying that you won't welcome him back if he ever rebounds, and that's not saying that you wouldn't help him because of the past connections you have. That's just saying in his current state, he's no longer part of your inner circle.
See, to me,
I guarantee you're not gonna have a crackhead in your house.
Yeah, but I don't feel like that's a
higher standard. A higher standard to me would be like, I can leave you in my house and you don't steal my shit.
Well, I'm not gonna steal your shit
because I hold you at a higher standard.
I might show you.
Well, I don't even know if I hold you at. I just
may or may not light a match in your backyard.
You know, if I hold you to a higher standard, that means I look at you as a friend, and I would expect you to to give back in the same way and expect that standard from you. But if you don't, then yeah. But I don't see it towards an acquaintance or anything like that.
How do I explain where I'm at? I feel like I get what you're saying, but I feel like it's one of those things like you pick friends off of who they are. So it's like, I'm not even holding you at something. It's just, this is who you are. And I know you're a good person. Like, I know how you rock. I'm not holding you to that. Like, I know you.
That's that subconscious standard.
But if you go do some fuck shit, you do some fuck shit and we're homies. I might be like, hey, nigga, what the fuck was that?
But if you do too much fuck shit, you ain't gonna be homies no more. That's what I'm saying. I mean,
too much fuck shit.
You know what I'm saying? Like, as a human, you have the ability to give grace to other humans because you realize that players fuck up too. But there's a threshold to everything.
Yeah, I guess we're saying
I'll make it personal. Like Andy knows me, and he knows based off my personality, most likely whether I would or would not rock with someone. Based off just how I would meet them alone, he knows. So he knows because I personally have a standard. If I meet you, I'm not vibing with you, or if I you off, or I hear some shit like, nah, I'm good. I'm not. Even if I can't verify the information, if it's a chance, it might be true. Nah, I'm good, pimp.
So would it be more you choose your friends off of these standards then?
Yes.
Not holding them.
But that's holding people to standard by choosing them. Because you didn't meet my standard to be my friend.
I ain't gonna hold them niggas. Like, you just fuck with them.
That's what I'm saying. You ain't up to par, so you can't be in the circle.
I don't know. I guess I'm being semantics on it, I guess.
My perspective is I just hold you personally at a higher standard for whatever we as friends in our friendship is like. Outside of that, I really don't care. If you decide to go out and start smoking crack, I'm gonna be like, hey, bro, you need to stop it. But if you like, fuck it, rock the world, I'm gonna be like, All right, then, deuces.
I don't believe you until somebody stops smoking crack. You ask them like you couldn't get cocaine. That's what you would say.
You tell them to step up their drug choices. Come on, man. You got a better.
Hey. I might.
Don't be out here smoking this crack. Get some cocaine, baby.
Hey,
like
what you doing, dog? Like they got better stuff that ain't gonna have you strung out like that, man. Like,
Hey.
But yeah, like I said, I could say I hold all you guys at a higher standard, but that's more of a personal perception of what I want out of you.
Because you consider us friends.
you should have just said yes, nigga, because everything you said, yes.
But I don't know what that standard is. I couldn't tell you. Like I said, for me, it'd be like, don't steal my shit.
It's like you said subconsciously in that though. You have people. You want people to have a certain morality to them. Like you want to have the same somewhat morals aligned a little bit to be able to function with each other. You're not gonna have people in your house that's just.
But that's what I'm saying. It's only going to work. People, they got to be somewhere around your morality level.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying they have to be from the same walk of life because we're not. The four of us have different walks of life. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying that, but morally, and what we stand on and how we, for the most part, move and react, they're similar.
Yeah, I guess I was just taking it more on like I'm not. It feels like an expectation of how people are gonna be when
I expect it, nigga.
I expect you to answer the phone when I call. Or I expect you to return my phone call within a certain amount of time.
I can answer your call.
That's a standard, though. That could be a standard.
I mean, you can be. That's one I got to adhere to. I'm busy.
But again, I think the standards are personal.
No, they are naturally.
Right. That person could have that standard of a friendship, but
Yeah, because I got
wild.
He just chuckled. What'd you talk about?
I was looking at Reddit stories, and there's apparently a whole subreddit it's called Stories About Kevin, and I just thought it was funny, and I just decided to click on it. And there's a bunch of different stories of people telling Kevin, whoever Kevin is, stories. So I just thought it was funny. I was going through them. I was like, stories about Kevin? What the hell? Kevin, you got to tell us something?
I'm not amused.
You're not amused?
I'm not amused because I know what these stories probably are about.
About Kevin being Kevin?
No, about Kevin being Karen. Or Ken.
Yeah, that's Kevin.
Or Kyle.
This one says, my ex-boyfriend Kevin, and they're near manslaughter.
Damn.
Oh, that's not what I expected. That's not what
My grandma reminds me a bit of Kevin.
Damn.
I knew somebody who had an Aunt Kevin. That was weird.
Self Kevin, holding it all the way to the bus terminal and ended up popping a hemorrhoid.
Damn.
Holding what? His doo-doo?
Yeah.
Apparently, he popped the hemorrhoid.
I've never had. Damn, that's myself. Kevin's got a laptop.
I found a girl, Kevin, and I just love her.
Damn.
I just thought it was funny that this is like a whole subreddit. But
I just thought it was all gonna be Kevin's being Karen's, and I was like, I don't want to hear that shit, man.
They're just funny because I was looking through it and I said, this is so random, but it's interesting. Anywho,
oops.
Moving on. Okay, this is, I guess, more of a meme-ish. It says, there's nothing more satisfying than being prettier than your ex-boyfriend's new girlfriend. The fact that he's not just going for looks anymore, it means that you taught him a valuable lesson. Do you agree with that?
Is that two different people then now?
What?
Essentially, his girlfriend saying that when she saw him with someone else and she wasn't prettier than her, that she was like, oh, finally he's starting to go for more than looks.
She thinks she taught.
Well, the thing is, looks are subjective. So she may be a 10 and the ex might be a 4 for all she know.
Well, the way it actually goes is it's an ex-girlfriend and she sees your current girlfriend and she knows that she's prettier than your current girlfriend.
She thinks she's prettier. She thinks.
Well, in her eyes that she's prettier, but
because he's in the eye of the beholder, so she thinks. It sounds like the ex-girlfriend is
sounds like she's
right.
Yeah, she hasn't grown up still.
But they say that mindset of just even thinking that is, yeah.
Personality can make her a 10 too, so all of them.
Right. There's other reasons.
I had that conversation with my wife all the time. not all the time, but the other day.
Mm-hmm.
I said, don't think just because a girl ain't a 10 that someone would she couldn't be perceived as a 10, because if her personality is fire, personality can overcome a certain level of looks.
I don't know. I've seen some 10s out there, and you go, fuck.
Kevin,
Like,
you are a prime example of personality.
I'm beautiful because I shine from within. I don't know how many times I got to tell you this. Make that gap work.
But I mean, to me, that just shows how, I guess, your level of petty is, that you based it all on looks and nothing else about that person.
Well,
I think it was more of a shot at herself.
My
right, that she's prettier. I
don't even think she knew that though.
But my when I hear that, all I say is, all you're telling me is all you have is your looks, and that you're just
I feel like it was a shot at herself, whether she realized it or not. Like, we're just you just took a shot at yourself, and you thought you didn't.
Right.
Oh, he want more than looks now. It's like, so that means that's all you had. Okay.
Like, what did you tell? Did you tell him, like, I'm more than just looks? He's like, you're not.
As the one memes, what are the memes that go around? It says the side chick, and it'll always be like a character that looks like the Stephen King's It. You know what I'm talking about?
What she had asked though.
You know, that side chick, they be like, "How did you cheat on somebody who looks like this?" And you're like,
"It's not. It's Pennywise. His name is Pennywise, sir."
I don't remember that shit.
I'm telling you, his name is Pennywise.
Okay, and I'm gonna still call that motherfucker the Stephen King's It. But yeah, I mean, it's not always about looks, and women want to say it is about looks or feel that it's about looks majority of the time.
Looks will get you in the door quicker than personality. But
no, I'm talking about the judgment.
But personality will keep you in the door.
Looks looks got some people some free shit.
So sometimes I'm like, fuck it, I should just say it.
Say it.
Someone I may or may not know.
Okay.
We'll leave it like that, generalized. Got into a marriage based on looks. Looks. The man saw her as beautiful and was a trophy wife. She saw a come up financially.
Mm-hmm.
Happens all the time.
Yeah,
but when I look back at it, like when they say, "Oh, she left him. How do you feel?" I usually normally say, "Nigga should have known what he was getting into," because when you base it just on that, you kind of have to know this might come as a possibility when eventually the financial side is no longer as and tempting as it was for her to initially say yes. Now, when you have to, base it on everything else, that realization might kick in that she's no longer interested in being with you. And that is exactly what happened and how it played out. So, like, and every time I see this person come up on my timeline, I'm like, I don't feel bad for him, but I feel for him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel that you were going for the
look, that's superficial.
The look, like, the superficial shit. So exactly, like, you kind of had to know this might come. But at the same token, I feel, because you're like, well, I gave you everything. I get it. Like, you're like, I provided this for you. I made it to where it was so good for you. But at the same time, you have to realize, if this is all it's based on, it's not going to get you very far. Like,
I just always say surface level decisions lead to surface level outcomes.
Because she suddenly realized he was a great guy underneath, that might lead to something else. But if she literally says, all you are is this.
And that's the problem for him, is he was not. I think people can go into that as long as they both understand that. Like, hey, all I'm here for is, like, I'm going to pay for all the shit you want. You're going to do what I want with this, be here, all that. But if you're expecting me to change, like, I think that's where you get lost. Because he was expecting her to probably be like, oh, he's a good guy. I love him now.
Yeah, and I kind of feel like he should have paid attention, because everyone else on the outside looking in, I mean, if they were being honest, we're like, oh yeah, she's only interested in this. And if you don't have a personality to go along with this to get her to go, oh man, I'm won over by his personality. Yeah, it was the money, but when I got to know him as a person, like, if that never happens, oh, that's some trouble.
Yeah. This gets
and
expensive.
nobody never said nothing to him.
I'm too far out to be able to say anything because if I say something, it's just gonna sound like hate.
And that's a tough one too, because you like
That's how you take it. You take it how you take it.
Yeah,
Right. And usually they don't take it the right way. They don't take it as positive.
that have to be like a close homie to tell that.
I mean, I believe his parent or one of his parents at least was like, and his cousins were like, and he was like, but I love her. It's like, all right, nigga, like, so.
But like you said, most people don't even
listen.
True. And the sad part is when you try to tell your friends that, they don't listen. You know, that's why I just step away and let you step away and just say, "Hell, it's your life."
I guess that's the next topic going in. Perfect segue. At what point do we understand our friends to know when to step
in? So you are?
Yeah, when to step in. Yeah. Like at what point? How much of you do you have to know of your friend to be able to know when to step in?
I think a friendship is just like any other relationship. You take time, you grow, you bond, and then you develop that. I don't think there's a set amount of time. I think that comes with the time that you guys spend in proximity with each other.
Yeah.
Like, so I know. Excuse me. I know I could call. Hey, McFly, you wildin', nigga. You slow down. And you be like, you wouldn't take it as hate. You be like, okay, maybe this nigga see something I don't see. Now,
especially when perspective.
If I Hunter, he wildin'. He be like, what are you talking about? What do you mean? I don't know. You know, it's gonna be some pushback from him. Kevin be like, I don't know what the fuck you talking about. I'm just doing me. You know,
because I guess
it's different for all. It'd be different for all three. You know,
and even then, it's all. I guess it's even like an inner circle that you know of people that you'll be like, oh, I know when it's coming from this source.
Yeah,
it's credible. When it's coming from out here, that's probably somebody throwing salt. Like, you know, like, so like even with him, like I'm like, you got your mom saying something, you got your cousins telling you, and you're like, whatever. And it's like, nigga, you might have wanted to pay attention. I mean, they don't really have anything to gain from telling you this. Like,
and that right there, what you just said, that's what's important. You gotta listen to motherfuckers that ain't got shit to gain from your situation. Because those are the ones that like, I'm just trying to give you some light. Because look, this is what I see. Now you may not see what I see, but this is how I'm looking. This is how I see the situation. And if they don't have nothing to gain from that, then you should really think about what they're saying. Because a lot of times, you can get counsel from 1,000 people, but if you're not willing to actually sit and listen and actually think about what they're saying, what's the point?
Yeah.
The only thing we don't take in consideration is the power of the pussy.
It ain't that.
I think.
To some it is.
From my understanding in that count, that was not a factor. It was more just
she's fine.
Visual.
Yeah, the visual part. I can take her out. This is my lady. Look at her.
The trophy wife type deal where he can go out and be like, oh man, you're so lucky. And he'd be like, yeah, I know, right? Like,
you got to pay for that.
But when I say that, I mean, there's those situations that do happen like that. You know, you'll know a guy and be like, hey, you know, this is going on. But that power that it has over that person, they don't listen. You know, they don't want to give it up. You know, we all know there's guys out here that are pussy whipped. We know it. We see it. And they don't listen.
First, whip that pussy.
Yeah, that's what I thought John Witherspoon. Whips pussy.
But I mean, it happens. I mean, you know, I don't know if you don't build your relationship off something besides the superficial stuff and go more for a substance, it ain't gonna last that long.
What I learned young was every time I would talk to a woman and they would be on some, like all we talked about was something sexual, I realized that after that exchange, there was nothing else. Like, but when you talk about everything else and you get to that, it's kind of like it opened up the whole world of possibilities, because it's like we don't have to talk about this, but we could talk about anything else. Like we could talk about life, this and that. Then we get to fucking, you know, then it's like a whole world. You're like, oh man, like I could see myself being with this person.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I kind of think that's a myth too. I think because they say men are all physical, but I will say that I do think emotional connections matter. I do think it makes the experience a little better. I'm not saying that we can't enjoy ourselves no matter what's going on, because the nut is the nut. But I do think the nut maybe has a little more
No, it's a lot better when you're in it.
Yeah. It's a lot better when you have that emotional connection.
And then, like, I remember there was a girl I knew, and she was like habitually like caught up in bad situations, and she was like, "Why is it the only guys want to do is fuck?" It's like, well, you literally you always use that as a starting point with every conversation you have with men, and then you wonder why that's all they're around for. Like, you can't expect a strong connection if that's all you're literally basing your conversations on is, well, I keep throwing this out there and throwing it. And like, it's like, well, what do you think is going to happen when he finally gets it? And it's like, that's all he wants from me. Well, the fuck you keep using that as a starting point of your conversation. You got to have more to offer in that conversation. When you get to that point down the line after having that conversation about everything else in life, about your goals, your beliefs, your standards, or whatever, and you get to that point, then it's a whole different ball game. But if that's literally all you're having to stand on is, we talk about fucking.
Yeah, if they use that as the emotional connection, then you ain't got no emotional connection. You just lust.
Yeah. Those are the ones that have a high body count.
Yeah. And you're like,
no, there's some girls out there you wouldn't know have a high body count.
Yeah.
Hey, I didn't say there's nothing absolute. I'm just saying if all you is sexual, you're going to have a higher body count than somebody who's not.
I always say when they tell you the body count, double it.
You know, Cole said you got to multiply by 3.
Yeah, you got to triple that.
Was it Brittany Renner or what was it? Brittany?
She said she had 35, nigga.
35. That's 350.
Yeah, unless they're very open.
He said 3 times, not 300.
No, it's 350.
It's 350.
I told you not. I heard this girl say,
that's probably low ball.
This girl said she had miles of dick.
Damn.
I'm not going to question her. I'm like, I believe you.
I'm not going to even spend the time trying to break that shit down.
She might be in this subreddit about Kevin.
No. All I can say is for her to say 35 and see the reactions, I'm like, that ain't worth it.
What?
I mean, 35. I mean, that's not a number to really be the talk of the town, what it is.
I'm pretty sure. I believe it's probably, I believe it's more, but I believe most of those 35 that she claimed are all celebrity dudes that be in her DM. She was kicking it with Drake. I know Drake smash.
I believe that's a way higher body count than that. And she just.
It could be a 35. And like you said, she took the 35 creme de la creme.
Yeah.
She just rolled it out.
Yeah.
Are you going to keep me around for a while? Yep.
All right.
But just the fact that we put a standard on a number is just stupid in its own. You know, she had 35, and you know,
yeah, but it's her life.
Exactly.
It don't matter to me because I'm not going down that road. But it might matter to someone who's trying to go down that road because now she's saying she got 35, but she's looking for a husband.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
She gonna have to find a particular type of dude that don't care. Most dudes care.
I feel like when we have that conversation and when we go into that, like it's literally based on, I feel like your standard, because sometimes you have to think about it as so if she's had 350 plus body count and you're coming in with what, 5, 10, 15, and she's used to a certain way of doing things, that might conflict a bit. Because you might never be able to do what she wants.
That would be that comes with I think as you grow together, it would like that to me. Fuck it. Like if you guys make a connection and you don't have to worry about what it was, as long as you ain't got no disease, shit. Fuck it.
Thank you.
What I'm saying is, you might get to a point that you're satisfied with her, but she might get bored with you.
But that's just the roll of the dice with anybody. She could have 3 and you be like, I'm killing, and you're like, she's like, nah.
But she might look at it also as you're thinking you're killing it, and she's like, well, he's not like Kevin 37.
But more than likely, I think somebody in that point will let you know. They're gonna be a little more open and be like,
you got multiverse bodies. You're not like Kevin from Earth 875. You're like, what the fuck, like.
Then you don't need to be in that relationship if she's doing that. If she's comparing you to other niggas, like I'm out.
I'm saying like that's a possibility. Like she might compare you.
That's not a possibility. That you're going to be measured up against somebody because
somebody
and that 35 there's one person at 35 gave her the best dick she ever had.
Yeah. Okay.
So she's gonna measure you at least up to that motherfucker.
That goes back to the connection shit we're talking about too, though. Like that does change shit. That changes.
But what I'm saying, sometimes when they get turned out, they never get turned back.
That's what. Yeah, but I'm like, then she ain't gonna be with nobody. She ain't gonna be going.
Well, she might want to be walked down the aisle, but what I'm saying, it might realistically not ever be an option because she's so turned out she'll never turn back.
Yeah, and that's just what that is.
Fact.
And then she looks at you and you're like, oh, he could be the possibility to change that off for me. And then she goes, yeah, it's never going to happen. Sorry, we're getting a divorce, blah, blah, blah. I'll take you for half your shit. And you're like, what the fuck, baby? I thought you wanted this life. Like
Ain't that the man's problem for...
That's on that nigga.
Right.
That's on him.
You knew what you were getting into. If you didn't like it from the get-go or whatever, you had a problem.
What I'm saying is, unless that's all divulged from the get-go, that's what you know you're getting into. But most of the time, they're not going to tell you the truth about what their body count is to what their actual intentions are.
Right, but again, that was
just because we're talking about marriage. We're talking about marriage. We're talking about somebody getting into a marriage situation, and if they ain't telling me the truth, like that's fucked up. Like then you ain't trying to get married. Like you ain't trying to get married to somebody if you can't be honest with them.
And again, that happened all before you. Who cares what happened before you? Is what happens after you.
Some people.
And what I'm saying is, what happens before you.
I know a lot of people.
What happens before you can dictate what happens after you,
or it can't. Like,
or it can't. I'm saying, but it's just about the two people being realistic with each other.
You walk into a motherfucker's house, and every piece of silverware in the house has been used but not washed. You are using that silverware?
That's not the same thing.
It's not the thing.
He just said it don't matter. It don't matter what happened before you. What matters what happened to you.
But what I'm saying is, unless two people can
literally calling her a dirty woman, though. Like,
if two people can be honest and truthful with each other, then there's endless possibilities. But what I'm saying is, the average person, when it comes to these situations, tends to be very to the chest with divulging information. So they might, because they don't want to lose you, not tell you shit. And then eventually you find out the hard way that the reason why it wasn't going to work is because they were never being honest with themselves from the get-go.
And if you put that much importance on it, then if you're the kind of person that put that much importance on it, then that should have been addressed a long time ago.
I agree with that. You got to be upfront.
Yeah, you got that much importance on it. To me, it wouldn't matter if we've been together or whatever. Then it came out.
I heard something. I heard something that was interesting, and I agree with it. Right. So it was a similar. I was in another podcast, had a similar conversation about this. Right, about body count, and he said if that body count was in her city and now she live in my city, I don't care because it ain't been none of the dudes around here. Now, if it's in the same city I'm in, I might care a little bit more because the chance of me running to one of these dudes is more likely.
That's happened to me. That has happened to me. So you be around a chick and somebody be like, ain't that the one that does this? And you be like, what the fuck are they talking about? And you're next to them and you feel embarrassed as fuck. Like, why are they talking about you? Like, you're some sort of known thing right in front of me. Like, ain't that the one? And you're like,
yes, it is. That's her.
You got something you want to tell me?
I'm only going to be mad if you ain't did it with me yet.
And like I say all the time, you are a different breed.
I don't.
I just think it's when I'm saying honesty, I'm saying because you can say it doesn't matter to you and that's fine. But what I'm saying is it might matter to her. And if she's not honest with herself and then she decides to get in a relationship with you and take it further and you decide to make that serious plunge and then all of a sudden she tells you, you know what, turns out I can't be this for you. And you're like, what the fuck? Like,
yeah, but that's a complete.
Yeah, because it might not matter to you, Hunter, but it might matter to the man that she wants. And then
I get that. Everybody has different needs, but I'm saying if you're gonna put that much value on it, then you need to address that shit early.
Whose value though? That's what I'm talking about.
If the guy puts that much value on a body count.
I'm not saying about him putting the value on it. I'm saying she not being honest with him about what she's been doing before he met him. So when she came into it, she ended up having this unrealistic expectation of this what was supposed to be in front of her. And then she goes, you know what? Turns out I can't do it. Sorry, I'm about to go over here and fuck Joe Small.
They would have rushed in then at that point. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like over that time, she would figure that out before they got married. If they didn't rush in. You know what I'm saying? Like, that seems like they would have to rush into that for her to be like, oh, well, you know what? This ain't what I thought. Because that's going to happen in like the first 2-3 years.
Which did happen.
Huh?
I said, which did happen in the first 2 or 3 years.
All I think about is those born again virgins. No.
The realist is like, you know what? This ain't for me. Turns out I'm for the streets. Sorry. And you're like, wait, what? Like,
Yeah. I should have dated and lived together for a minute.
That standard as is. I don't understand how people can marry somebody.
If you can get over the body count hump, just move somewhere where no one knows her.
I'm more of a,
It's up to,
like,
it's up to
you ever watch The Heartbreak Kid? With Ben Stiller, and then she was like, dick me like a black guy, and he said, excuse me, and like he was trying to do all these moves and nothing was working, and she's like, dick me like a black guy, and he said, what the fuck, like, and he realized she was so turned out that he couldn't satisfy her at all. Like I said, god damn, like I'm like, you already married this, like you.
I feel like that changes with like emotional connection and shit. It's like when you hear porn stars talk, they ain't trying to get fucked like that with their significant other. But they don't fuck me like I'm at work, like.
Oh, they
Guess what? You can't.
What throws me is that like the conversation they have, he's like, yo, I just leave anal for him. Like that's his little special thing for living with. Like, so they gets the thing they can't have. It's like,
Fuck it, if it works for them. But you just gotta.
He gets the special. he gets the one that stinks and not winks, or winks and stinks.
Crevice.
It's like, see, he gets that little special.
Yeah, I mean, each his own. But yeah, some people like that shit too with the body count, where they're like, "Oh, ain't that so and so?" Like, yeah, she doing it to me now, fool. Like some people like that shit.
Hey, it's somebody for everybody.
Did she lick the inside of your toes? Cause she do that to me.
All right, we're not gonna go down this. We're not gonna do this.
So, you just made me think of that one LeBron James meme where he's crying and it says, when your wife comes home from work and then her work as a porn star, and she says, man, I had the best day ever. So bitch, get out of my house.
No.
Anyway.
That. Anyways.
Yeah, okay.
A whole bunch of Lamar showed up.
Anyway, with that being said, this has been episode 116 of the Heavyweight Podcast. I am Stutter McFly. One more time, back again with these guys.
Mr. Stagger your cheese up. Shouts out indigenous folks. Only Christopher we acknowledge. It's Wallace. Sorry.
It's your boy Molito.
And they call me Hunter.
Like, subscribe, share, comment.
All that shit.
We appreciate you. We rock with you. And maybe in the next possible weeks, we will have a female counterpart to come in and guest star with us again. That was kind of cool. So we're going to try it again.
Can we get someone with a high body?
Anyway, until next time.
Man, we love y'all, man. We out.
Peace.
It's a wrap. That's all she wrote, folks. Thanks for tuning in once again. You can check us out on all streaming platforms. Click like, subscribe, leave some comments. You know what I'm saying? Is it Monday yet? Hello. Every Monday you got new episodes, so tune in. Have a blessed one.